Have you ever wondered if you should do therapy? Have you heard people say, wow, therapy saved my life, or counseling has been the best decision I've ever made? Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. Maybe you need to ask some really specific questions, either before you get counseling or in the midst of choosing who to have as your counselor. And we're going to talk about that in today's episode, so don't miss these critical questions. Hey friends, we're going to tackle something that's really sensitive for a lot of us, and that is, what do I do with the idea of therapy? I know some people even have a t-shirt that says something like Jesus plus therapy, right? That both of those things have been helpful to them, even though I'm pretty sure they're not equating the two as equally helpful. I think right now in our modern moment, especially post-pandemic, something like counseling or therapy has become way more normalized. That it's not unusual, like it might have been in a prior generation, for those of us who might be struggling with something to get someone who's qualified to speak into our life and give us space to actually process through it so we can receive some healing and change. Is there any problem with that model? Is there a possibility that therapy could be bad? Well, listen to this quote that I just read recently from Tim Keller's book, Forgive. It's a little bit of a longer quote, but I think it's going to be really helpful to situate us in what our culture is currently telling us, and will start giving us questions about counseling or therapy. Here's what Tim Keller says. Our culture has taken a strongly inward turn. While other cultures have stressed the importance of community and the need to forge a personal identity that negotiates and aligns with the common good, modernity has stressed looking inward to forge our own identity based on our desires, and then moving outward to demand that society honor our individual interests. He continues, and this I thought was helpful history. Modern therapy was designed to defend individuals against any community or outward influence that foisted guilt-producing standards on them. Who helped move it this way? Well, he says, Freud took an analytic approach, one of deconstruction of any moral norms or beliefs that created anxiety or shame. Individual authenticity came to mean liberation from any norms that you do not choose or create yourself. Do you see the problems there? There can be an assumption that we just have to look inwardly, and somehow we're going to find our truest self, our truest desires, and then we should force everyone around us to have to deal with them and think about them and feel about them the way that we do. No matter what I think about myself, no matter what I feel, if that's what I feel in this moment, you have to feel and think the way I do. When in fact that's not really real or true or what God intends for us. He actually says that God designed us beautifully and with a purpose. Psalm 139 says He knit us together in our mother's womb. And it says all our days were written before us, when before us yet there was one of them. God's in charge. He designed us. He has the history of the world, and He defines what is good, not just us and our fickle desires. So, Bob, I'm still asking the question, is therapy good or is therapy bad? Well, let me give you a few questions so that if you want to receive counseling, you can get good counseling and not unhelpful counseling. One is that ask, does this provide space? Will this environment give me the space to actually process what I need to work through right now? Whether it's my sin or whether that's my suffering. That's one of the biggest benefits of a counseling relationship. You just have space, the time, the slowdown, the margin to go to those places that really feel hard. Whether it was some things that are frankly my fault that I need to grow and mature from and turn to God from sin, or whether that's things that have been happening to me where I'm just suffering and it's hard. And sometimes it's both. And I just need healing. Is there space? The second question though is this person qualified? So the bigger the issue, the deeper the issue, the more complex the issue, probably the more experience or credentialing you're going to want to have someone be as your helper. That doesn't mean that you only have to sign up to meet with someone who's a licensed therapist. It just means Does this person have knowledge and do they have experience that they could speak adequately into what I'm dealing with? That's a fair question, right? Even if this person is just a mature Christian who really knows the Bible and has lived some life experience and has maybe helped others. I think there's actually a lot of really well-qualified men and women in many churches to help counsel us in areas where we need common help. A third question, though, is, is this only going to point me inward and not toward a solution? That's the problem that Tim Keller is pointing out. If I'm sitting on the same couch 13 years from now and I haven't grown at all, I haven't changed at all, I still feel the same things I ever felt, well, then this space isn't really helping me. I want a counselor that's solution-oriented. What's my goal in this? To fix some relationships, to turn from my sin, to receive inner transformation, to get healing from past trauma and hurts and wounds. With that solution in mind, let's move toward the solution. And I think one other question that's really important is this counseling going to point me to Jesus? Whether it's someone who's explicitly Christian, who I highly recommend, I think there are many good Christian counselors out there, both formally and informally, like I mentioned. I think that there also can be therapists and counselors who are willing to say, hey, you're a Christian, I want to honor your beliefs, and go ahead, yes, seek Jesus, turn from the sin, I want to encourage you to do those things. At the end of the day, if someone's only going to tell you, no, keep living in your sin, keep fulfilling your desires, keep living out an identity or a walk that's not what God intends for you, because, I don't know, secular society says that's okay, that's not what you want. That's not how God's designed you. That won't bring you healing. In fact, it's only going to bring more destruction. At the end of the day, Jesus says that His truth sets us free, and it changes us. And it's Satan who wants to steal, he wants to kill, and he wants to destroy. Those are hopefully a few questions that you can ask to start determine, if I feel a need for counseling, where could I go? Because your next step, even today, may just be consider counseling. Whether it's considering one of the organizations that I'll list here in the description below that I found helpful, who are explicit Christians, who are well qualified to speak into areas of your life, or whether it's another opportunity. Maybe it's something really deep and complex where you do need some medical intervention to be able to help, and people who have professional backgrounds to help you. I commend you to receive the help you have. But just remember, therapy is not better than Jesus. Therapy is not equal to Jesus. But sometimes counseling or therapy can be worked in tandem with what Jesus wants to provide for you in a life, and be used as a tool from Jesus to point you back to Jesus, your Savior, the one who loves you, and the one who wants to heal you. If this has been helpful to you, let us know. Comment in the description below. Follow us on socials. Keep jumping into everything that's happening at binmin.org, and especially sign up for our newsletter, because that's where you're going to hear the newest updates about what's coming out with BinMin, get exclusive content, and be a part of the BinMin family. Thanks so much for watching this or listening to this. God bless you.